All right, we're back with the news, and we'll start with the big thing we missed. Oh, hey, Maggie.
Just a dog hanging out.
Is she showing
Just
up on
hanging
camera?
out.
She might be.
Staring at me with that Terminator eye. Dun, 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 dun. She's sent back through time to kill us all, or at least Marty.
Yeah, just Marty.
You're John Connor in this scenario. She'll be down to just like an endoskeleton just like crawling after you.
Just turns into liquid and reforms.
All right. Bethesda announced last week that they are going to hold their first ever E3 press conference, joining EA, Ubisoft, and then Microsoft and Sony. Am I leaving anybody out?
Activision doesn't really have a press conference. They have a press briefing sort of.
That's it, right?
Gathering.
Yeah. Well,
Ubisoft?
Konami sort of does weird effed up stuff from time to time.
Yeah.
Did you say
I think they kinda
Ubisoft?
gave that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, EA.
Yeah, this is a big deal.
Microsoft,
You don't
Sony.
really say you're holding a press conference if you don't have anything to talk about.
On that very note,
I wonder what they could possibly be announcing.
Fallout 4 is inevitable, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
there's
a Fallout
nobody that would bet
something.
against me in In-N-Out Burger on that one, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Fallout 4 is going to be announced, but if it isn't, I'm sort of going to be like, well, yeah. I mean,
They're announcing.
So what are I mean, we know, quote, no, in as much as we've seen like a lot of rumors about that game be set in Boston. They're doing
Yeah.
casting.
Yep.
and copyright claims
It
and everything,
seems
so they can
pretty
retain
likely
it.
they're doing a Fallout game. What are the odds that they looked at the success of Skyrim and went, okay, time out. We need to do another Elder Scrolls game before we do another Fallout game.
So I have talked to Todd
No.
Howard many times over the years. Sadly, not much since I've been at IGN, just because he hasn't really had a project. Skyrim shipped like right before I started working here. But yeah, when I used to talk to him all the time, I mean, of course things can change, but it became very clear to me that Todd Howard is very much in charge there, in the sense of. In fact, I asked him, like, do they make you do projects? Do they do whatever project you want? And he told me a story of how when they first did Fallout 3, he wanted Fallout, so they went and got it for him.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I suspect they're going to continue alternating Elder Scrolls, Fallout,
Yeah.
and that's one team, by the way. That's
Yeah.
just Todd Howard's team. Is it possible they've swelled to two teams?
I mean,
Possible.
Skyrim, I wouldn't doubt it. You know?
But I mean, for me, you look at those games ship every 5 years or more, and like GTA or like what's another recent example of a? I mean, how about even the Batman Arkham games?
Yeah.
you know, they become events rather than just annualized.
The
well,
Witcher
okay,
is
another
The
good
Witcher is a
example.
great
Yeah,
example. Yeah, where they become just huge events that become blockbuster things, which only builds the momentum for the next game.
Yeah.
I think there's zero chance this is an Elder
Yeah.
Scrolls 6.
Also-
I don't think we'll see Elder Scrolls 6 till
For a
after
while.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Seems
mean, the
feasible.
big thing, too, to look at was when Fallout 3 was announced at E3 in 2008, it came out that
man.
October.
No. Well, remember? Wait, was it?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
cow!
like,
It
was
was
very
announced,
shortly
and
after.
within like 5 months was out.
I still
that's
have
right.
my viewfinder.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
From when they gave them out. That thing's worth a lot of money.
I'm just as much. I feel like every week
Yeah.
we talk about how just nuts this fall is. What if there's a Fallout? I don't get it.
Get out.
Out
Get
in
out.
the fall.
I meant to
get
do-
it.
No, I think that could like really disrupt a lot of stuff this year because
Yeah.
this year's already so busy. It's already getting a little bit crowded.
I don't think they'd want to.
a lot about stuff that might
Oh.
slip into next year. That could really
Fallout
make
is a
mess.
game where they don't worry about
No.
other people. Other people worry about them.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
there's
true.
that small handful of quadruple A tier things
Yeah.
where everyone else has to get the hell out of their
Their
way.
way.
GTA,
What if-
Call of Duty,
Yeah.
maybe Halo.
What if they do
Well,
September,
we talked about
October?
that last week.
Yeah.
And maybe not.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe, man. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if it has it anymore.
So we talked a little bit off the air about what we think, what at least Mitch and I think might happen.
Yeah.
We think they might bring Skyrim to next-gen consoles to bridge the gap to Fallout
Yeah.
4's release.
Yeah, and if we're saying that Fallout's this year, I don't think that's going to happen. But if they say, hey, listen, like, here's a Fallout logo, here's a teaser trailer, war is dead or whatever, I don't care. Ron Perlman comes out on stage.
What is the line again?
Yeah.
It's the
Fine.
same thing.
Yeah.
They'd have a teaser trailer, and then they announce, you know, like, you're getting that in fall 2016, but to hold you over, Skyrim on next gen.
Yeah.
Do you really think they would announce
Mod
it
supported.
a year and a half out?
Doesn't seem like Bethesda.
Also, so let's work backwards and do the math. Skyrim shipped holiday 2011, right?
but yes.
So typically, Todd Howard's team takes 3 years to make a game, but we got a next gen change there. So if it's this year, it's already 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't see it being 5 years unless they've
Yeah.
completely started over on the engine. Like they've built completely new technology,
Yeah.
maybe some sort of custom id tech since they.
Yeah.
be.
But I really think it's going to be this year, and I would also make an in-and-out bet that there is no Skyrim remaster.
Ever?
Well, not this year.
Okay.
Okay.
At a certain
Well,
point, just don't, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm already so exhausted by the
Just
bets.
stop it.
On the list here, we have Dishonored 2 seems likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
That's-
that was your personal game of the year a few years ago.
Love that game. That's
Yeah.
my favorite game of 2012 by far. I don't know, like I would assume that that's what Harvey's team is doing in Lyon. Like Harvey, who is head of that project in Austin at Arcane, moved to Lyon,
To France.
to head up another project at Arcane's other studio. I would love for that to be a Dishonored game.
I feel like Harvey would be like a new IP guy.
Could be.
And that Austin's handling.
You think so?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Could be.
I mean, you kind of don't you need a steady, experienced hand to make sure that Dishonored becomes a franchise and not
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
one-off that has a crappy sequel and then goes
Sure.
away forever.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with the idea of Austin being a B team either, because they were Dishonored. They made that game.
Yeah.
That is their project.
Yeah.
So, I mean, without Harvey's leadership, it might be a different kind
Yeah,
of game.
you don't want
But
to
Rock the boat.
BioShock to it.
yeah.
I think also in this
Really good
list
analogy.
there will be something new, like not just Fallout, like
new
maybe
IP.
a new IP kind of
From who?
snuck in there as a
Like
teaser.
Bethesda owns a lot of studios now.
Yeah.
Or not,
Oh, I'm not sure
necessarily
from
owns,
who.
but
I
They
mean,
publish a lot of
I don't
stuff.
think.
Yeah.
Wet
Tang-
2 coming up.
Yeah.
What?
God.
Wets. Gross. Tango's not gonna be ready to show their game.
No.
That's Evil Within.
Machine Games
They
might
just
see
bad.
something.
they
games,
just
no
shipped
way.
They did-
Wolfenstein.
they did
There's
Brink.
no way.
Brink 2.
Oh god,
Brinks.
no, those guys.
That was splash damage.
Splash
yeah.
Damage.
Oh,
They
yeah,
just
yeah.
released
They're
a mobile
free-to-play
game.
things, right? Aren't they doing free-to-play stuff?
Dirty Bomb is their shooter. I think that's what it's called now. It
That's
was. I played that. At
Well,
PAX
the
last
other-
year.
so-
okay.
I don't know.
For
I
me-
just wouldn't be surprised to see like a little new IP thing in there.
What if
Oh,
they
I'm sure,
acquire?
yeah.
Like, what if Bethesda went out and was like, "We acquired this other brand," because they're good about that.
Well,
They're
a
like,
lot
"We
of
got
people
Fallout, we
just
got
sold
Wolfenstein,
their
we-
brands. So
What could they like? I don't know.
I don't know. I think if this is, let's say it's probably an hour-long conference, I think I don't know if you start or finish with Fallout. I suppose you probably finish with it so that that's what everybody remembers at the end. But
Sure.
maybe you start with Doom. You show
yeah,
They showed it at QuakeCon.
Doom will
and
be
somehow,
like gameplay.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
they showed gameplay at QuakeCon, and somehow no footage of that.
Nobody
got on
took
the
an
internet,
iPhone
which is
video of that?
astounding.
We can only sit around a campfire with Vince and have him
Right.
tell us about it.
Tell
And,
us again
and
about the
Gather
gore.
around, children.
and all that word, all the secondhand report on that is that it looked awesome.
Sounded cool.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see the proper world premiere of Doom gameplay, Dishonored 2, and Fallout. So that's if that's say 10 minutes each
Yeah.
on the three of those,
You're halfway
and then
through
you
the
fill it
show.
out with some little things.
Jibber
I
jabbers.
don't know if
Jibber jabbers.
Battle Cry will
So-
that free to play PC
so that
game will
is
have
either
shipped by
gonna-
then, or
they will either make that a prominent piece of their conference.
That'd be a
because
mistake.
they want that game to do well,
Mm-hmm.
or that game's canceled.
Yeah. I think when we see Doom, I think it'll also be like, and the demo / beta is now available. It'll be like,
Oh, yeah,
that would be nice.
Because we had
Right.
a couple of those at E3 last year. We had the Dead Rising Super Kamehameha Edition or whatever it was called.
Yep, nailed it.
Sony had an indie game that had unveiled at the conference
Right.
and it was just out.
Yeah, yeah.
I could totally see that happening.
Right, because I mean, people still tweet me from time to time like, "Hey, whatever happened to that Doom beta that I was supposed to get with what was it, Evil Within?"
Oh, yeah.
Wolfenstein.
With Wolfenstein, that's right. And it's just like, I don't know.
It's coming.
What do you think? So under Bethesda's sort of watch, they did a great job of rebooting Wolfenstein.
Absolutely.
From all intents and purposes, Doom seems really cool.
I hope so.
Do you think we're going to see anything Quake? Like, is that a brand that's still
Oh.
could,
I mean,
Dude, I would
that's
love
a
that.
great thought.
Yeah.
I would love the Quake
Okay,
5.
so let's. Well, Carmack before he left talked about rebooting Quake.
He wants a new one. Granted, he's not around anymore,
right,
but he talked
so,
a lot about wanting.
All
a
right,
new
let's talk. Who
Yeah.
do we want to do it?
Machine-
That's
machine
either
games. Machine.
Why not?
Yeah. I mean, Quake, the weird thing is Machine Games did storytelling really well in Wolfenstein.
That's true.
And does Quake have a story?
They tried with Quake 2. Quake
bit in
1
4
had
as
a
well.
very
Yeah. You're in hell.
weird
What if
framework.
they make an amazing Quake narrative?
Jeez.
I would love that.
That would be so great.
Yeah. so
Lightning gun,
Yeah.
nail gun.
Yeah.
Quad damage. My favorite narrative trope.
Quad.
I have. Well, that's. I remember the Q3 test when they first put out, and it was like
The arena.
it just melted brains at that time. It was like, holy hell, because that was first proper full 3D world. But
I'm also excited. This conference is on the Sunday of E3, so it's the day before everything.
yeah,
else.
so that's another good point, Marty. They're first mover here. They will be the first big E3 announcements. So we're gonna start E3 with Fallout 4. Yes. Yeah. What else?
Do you think they're going to do anything next year? Do you think this is like a 1-year thing?
That's another good question.
I don't think they have
Generally,
enough
when
annually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, generally when, I don't know the ins and outs of the business aspect of it, but I feel like when you kind of sign into a contract for like a couple of years for a venue.
Yeah, it's hard to just say like we
PSX
want it for this
had to
year.
sign up for a couple of years for that space in Vegas, and I don't know.
Interesting.
I can't see it being a
Well,
one-off.
it's not like a convention,
Yeah.
though. It's just they can book out like a theater.
Yeah.
That's true too,
do
but I'm
their
pretty sure
thing.
Ubisoft locks itself in every few years
that
for
theater
Orpheum.
that some you're just
To
going
your
burn
point,
down.
Destin,
Yeah.
if they did commit to this, because of course every publisher, every company has like a 5-year or more roadmap.
Yeah.
So they must. You're right. They're going to have enough material to sustain this for at least 2 or 3 years, and there probably won't be a Fallout for E3 2016.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what's going to be? I'm sure they've got it on that. Maybe Quake is that game for 2016.
Yeah, that'd be right.
We'll see. But that's
stuff.
been pretty quiet.
Do we think Doom is this year?
Could be.
I want it. I mean,
Nah,
Although-
they've been too quiet.
yeah, I
I
don't
don't know
It-
when that game last rebooted.
There's, like,
during the
no
25
marketing for
times
that
they
game.
started over.
That's the problem. It's
point.
impossible to peg
Yeah.
where that it is. I mean,
Same with Fallout though, right? Like there's no marketing for that either, but we all say it's this year.
Was there for 3? I remember
Well,
when 3
but-
there was stuff everywhere.
After
But-
they announced it.
But
after they
it was
announced it.
It was a 5-month run.
right.
Wow.
But
You
for
can hit it
4
hard.
though,
Yeah.
we know that one team has been working on that game since Skyrim shipped.
Right.
Whereas Doom, as you say, it's been
Tumultuous.
it's been bumpy over there.
Dude, I could totally see Fallout being announced and having those banners everywhere across the convention center.
Oh, yeah.
Like having that thing where
Instead
it's
of
announced
Assassin's
on,
Creed, it's-
getting announced on Sunday, and then on Monday they put up just banners on top of the convention
Yeah.
center, inside the convention center.
Well, because if Bethesda is coming out with their first press conference, they're going to be wanting to gun for like game of the show and
they're
all the
not-
big
yeah,
accolades.
Yeah, they're not going to be.
And
yeah,
Fallout's
they're
going
not
to be the game
light.
for that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see. I mean, it's weird. The people, I think I've said this on the show before, but it seems a lot of people I talk to, even though they're fundamentally a similar type of game, of open world freeform RPG, a lot of people tend to not. It's not a war where you choose sides, but a lot of people tend to strongly prefer Elder Scrolls or Fallout,
yeah.
and it seems like nobody really hates or loves them both.
Yeah.
There's something about just I guess
It's
the
fantasy and
settings,
sci-fi, I
yeah,
think.
fantasy
Yeah.
versus sci-fi.
I mean, I love both of them thematically.
Yeah.
I love a lot of the stuff they do, but in terms of like when I play those games, I play them for like one marathon session, and then halfway through, I go like, "Am I even having fun?" No, I'm not. And then I stop.
What?
Like,
Yes, you are.
I don't know that I am. Like, I played
Stop.
7-8 hours straight of Fallout 3, and I loved so much of what it was doing, but I just didn't like.
Did you go up to the weird town where, at the very northern tip of the map, where wasn't it like the polygamists or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know there was like I found this slave camp, and I was like, "All right, killing all of you," and I'm way out of my element.
Killed all the slaves?
No, no.
Whoa.
Jeez, Mitch.
That's
All right, I
dark.
thought
the
Canadians were
owners
nice.
Negative
Oh,
karma sound.
awkward. And then I did the same thing with New Vegas. I played it, and for like 10 hours, I was like, I'm having a lot of fun. This is really cool. I like it more than 3. And then I just hit this point where I was no longer enjoying it and just was kind of done.
But you played
They-
3 all the way through.
No. After
didn't.
like same thing.
Also-
After like 10 hours, I was 20 hours into Oblivion.
They did
before I
have to.
realized I
They
was
did
bored.
have to
I did
retcon
like-
the ending on 3, though. Remember?
Yes.
Because everybody was mad that the game stopped.
Yeah.
So they had to retcon it so that you could keep playing.
Yeah. My thing with 3, I think what pushed me away the most was anytime I pursued the main story, which I found was the most interesting because I liked it. But it was like every time you got to a new location, you're like, "Yo, is my dad here?" Shucks, you just missed him.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
So-
dumb.
That's how dads
So
work.
hashtag Team Fallout or hashtag Team Elder Scrolls.
Team, I haven't played any of them. I already went over that on the show. Everyone already yelled at me. Don't yell at me anymore.
I'm here for you.
You didn't play Fallout or Mass Effect.
Or-
Wait.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are my 3.
or
Fallout,
Elder.
Elder Scrolls, and Mass Effect are my 3 franchises that.
Do you want to do a Let's Play where we play through Mass Effect? I'd do it for you, Marty.
I know you would.
That sounds
Look at
great.
that. You're talking about.
I'm
look
wearing
at my
a Mass
shirt. Your
Effect
shirt.
today.
Do we all have dumb video game shirts
Yeah.
except for Marty?
Yeah, I have an adult.
What's
shirt.
yours?
Mine's a Dota thing.
Of
Adult.
course, it's Dota thing.
Is that inside of a chest?
Yeah, it's Lifestealer. He infests bodies,
Oh,
and then
okay.
he pops out whenever he wants.
I
What
get
the
it.
hell is happening?
He's my
guys.
he's my baby.
I'm sorry. I have to leave.
Oh, you got
All
Jet.
that
You have
matters-
work to do.
Mitch, channel
buddy.
my excitement for the Banjo-Kazooie story. Imagine how excited I would be.
Okay,
when that story
I will read this as excited Marty
Okay.
when the time comes.
Okay.
All
Love
right,
you all.
Marty,
Bye.
we love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Maggie.
Marty.
Sorry about the Battletoad shirt,
Marty.
except not because it was super funny.
Sorry, we're not sorry.
Your reaction was
Marty's
awesome.
appearance on the show has been canceled.